Hey, it's Kelly here, Eat Plants with Kelly. I am revealing the big secret, and that is no-bake gingerbread men cookies. They're pretty simple to make. There's just 4 easy ingredients, and so let's get started. You'll need a food processor fitted with the S-blade, and then I also picked up a muffin tin or cookie tin that has gingerbread men, that's in the form of gingerbread men. I got that at Target, but I've seen it other places as well. And then you'll need quick cooking oats. These are instant oats. And then you'll also need 2 dates, 2 large dates. If they're big, if they're smaller, you might need a few more. And then you need a teaspoon of ginger powder and a teaspoon of cinnamon powder. And then you will need 3 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce. So the first steps, I'm just going to add into my food processor 1 cup of instant oats. And then I'm going to add the 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, or 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And then I'm also going to add my 1 teaspoon of ginger. If you like the ginger taste to be more, you can also add more if you like. Once you have those ingredients in your food processor, you just turn it on and let it process until the oats make a flour. You can see here that the oats are made into a flour, and we're ready for the next step. Now that my oats are made into a flour, I am ready to add the next step, which is to add the dates into the food processor. And I've had these soaking for probably about 5 minutes or so, just to kind of soften them up, just in some water. So we're just going to add those in. And we'll turn the food processor back on and give it a whirl. So as you may be able to tell, it's still not into a dough mixture, so that's where the applesauce is going to come in. So what I do with the applesauce is just add them 1 tablespoon at a time, so that we can get the right consistency. So I'm just going to open up the lid there and add that first tablespoon, and then I'm going to turn the food processor back on. I've got 1 tablespoon of applesauce added into the food processor. I don't have that dough consistency yet, so I'm actually going to add my 2nd tablespoon of unsweetened applesauce into the food processor and turn it back on and see what happens. You can start to see that it's getting a little bit of doughy consistency, a little bit of wetness. That's what we want. It's still not quite there yet, so I'm going to go ahead and add a 3rd tablespoon of unsweetened applesauce and turn it back on. And you should start to see the food processor start turning it into a dough, and maybe even form a ball if you let it go long enough. See, it's sticking together and it's getting harder it's sounding like it's getting harder to work in there. So there it is. It formed a ball of dough for me. You can take it out here. See the ball of dough? And so what we're going to do is just add that to our gingerbread muffin tins. The key to this transferring your dough into your gingerbread muffin tin is to keep your hands wet so that the dough doesn't stick to them and it's easy to go in there. So I'm going to get my hands wet and just take the dough and start putting it into the cookie forms. Let me move this down so you can see what I'm doing here. So you basically just kind of shove it in there and let it form. This would be a great activity for kids to do to help you out with in the kitchen. Super simple, easy, fun recipe for everybody to enjoy. So I have the cookies put into my gingerbread men mold, and the next step is to put them in the freezer to harden. A great time to do this is at night before you go to bed, and let them get hard overnight, and then take them out the next morning and let them sit out for just a minute, and they will soften up and not be too hard. This recipe actually did not take up the entire muffin tin. If you would like to take up the entire muffin tin, and if you're serving a family for the holidays, you definitely probably want to double this recipe. I would probably do it in 2 batches, so do the recipe once and then do it again instead of doubling it, just so that we can make sure that all the ingredients are mixed well together and that the recipe actually works. I just pulled our cookies out of the freezer. They were in there for about 2 to 2.5 hours, and they're nice and hard and set up and ready to pop out of the silicone mold. It's very important that you do this in a silicone mold, because if you do it in just like a metal pan, you're gonna have to use oil, and we don't want to use oil. So all you do to pop these out is just place your finger underneath, and you just pop them out, and you get a cute little gingerbread man. Isn't that so cute? So these are ready to eat once you pop them out. So again, I'm just gonna push it up from the bottom, and it comes right out, and it's a cute little gingerbread man. So I have all of the gingerbread men popped out of their mold and added them to a plate for serving. These would be great to serve at the end of your holiday dinners, or you can even have them as a snack, as an appetizer set out when your guests start arriving and come in. They can have something to snack on. I actually had these for breakfast a few days ago, and they lasted me a pretty good while because they have the oats in there and they're pretty filling. So these are cute. Look how cute they are. I love them. So this would be a great activity to involve your children in, because there's no baking in these, and you can just eat them as they are. And I hope that you will try these for your holiday seasons. If not, you can just eat them at any time. I will probably be making these all year round. And if you don't have a gingerbread man cookie mold, you can just make these into round cookies and put them on a sheet of parchment paper or something silicone so that it doesn't stick, and just put them in the freezer that way to freeze. So I hope that you'll give these a try and eat plants with me, Kelly.